Welcome in, MyBookie Football Picks Show for week number 5, college football, week number 4 in the NFL. He is Jim Dunaway. He is Lance Taylor. I am Ryan Brownlee. Thank you for joining us. We're going to burn through some of these games, make a few picks for you on our college football picks. Let's start early, boys, as this show is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Code next round. You can play all these games I'm about to mention. Every single line comes from MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up for a new account. You get that bet back bonus up to $500. You make your first bet. They cover it up to $500 when you use code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag. Notre Dame fighting for their playoff lives as they go to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Arkansas coming off 2 heartbreaking losses. This game doesn't look like I thought it might in the preseason. But Notre Dame is laying 4.5 points on the road at Arkansas. I know you don't like for Arkansas. It's an early start, so that would help Notre Dame in your mind.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the money on this thing is split. I think Arkansas's offense, when you look at this Notre Dame defense, they're giving up almost 33 points per game, 119th in the FBS, which is amazing. And you look at how good this defense was playing for a national championship with Al Golden, their defense coordinator, now gone to the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals. Chris Ash takes it over. They are 12-3, their last 15 against the number. Notre Dame finally gets a win last week to get off the snide there. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Arkansas can hang with them, but I think ultimately Notre Dame wins. I'm not sure if they cover.
They're still trying to figure out their run game, Notre Dame. Why Jeremiah Love isn't a bigger factor this year. Jadarian Price had a big game last week. It just feels like that this is the last stand for Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much he's so beloved in that locker room, how much the Hogs laid on the line for Sam Pittman to turn it up. Turn that dang thing up or
Turn
whatever
that jukebox up is what he says.
One more time.
He wants that cold beer.
I think it's going to be a heck of a football game.
I do too. I like Arkansas here. Total of 64.5, by the way, so a lot of points.
Yeah, that's the thing. I probably would play this over when you look at.
You'd play the over?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
mentioned 64.5.
You mentioned the deficiencies of this Notre Dame defense. Arkansas 15th nationally in scoring at almost 44 points per game. Taylor Green's been great. I don't think this Notre Dame defense can do anything to limit him. And I think on the other side, I did see more love. I saw, obviously, Price with the 3 touchdowns. I think they get back to the basics. They run the football, but I still think it goes over the 64.5.
Yeah, I think the play is the over as well.
Okay. I like Arkansas plus 4.5 at home. One of those surprising outcomes, not necessarily who won the game last week, but how they won it, was Indiana playing Illinois. Illinois has got to lick their wounds. They got destroyed by Indiana. And now here comes USC in the Big Ten. USC a 6.5-point favorite in Champaign, total of 61 in this game. If you're Illinois, Dunaway, I don't know how you bounce back. I mean, this is a game where you kind of prove what you're made of, I think.
It is, but body clock for USC is a real thing, right? You always tell me, Lance, right? Going west to east is harder east to west.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a real game, a body clock game for USC. And then I go to the fact that quarterbacks sometimes have bad games, and Maeva has been so good, and Brett Bielema and them coming off of what they put on tape last week at Indiana. This has to be the best version of Illinois. Another fantastic game. I don't know which way to play it except the under.
Yeah, I probably would play Illinois plus the points. I mean, when we look at SC on the road last year in the Big Ten, they lost a game. I still don't know how they lost it to Michigan. They lost on the road to Minnesota. They lost on the road to Maryland. So they haven't been good going on the road yet in the Big Ten. They are first in total offense, over 600 yards per game. Illinois 7-1, their last 8 against the number. The one loss, they get walked off the field last week in Indiana.
Yeah.
But I think Altmaier can put up some points against this USC defense, which is improved, still not elite. It should be a fun game. I could see SC win but not cover. I like Illinois plus points.
What's the total?
61.
Yeah, give me the under.
So you like under 61. So over 64.5, Notre Dame at Arkansas. Under 61, USC at Illinois.
It's a totals weekend for me.
A totals weekend. All right, I like that. I like a theme. LSU is at Ole Miss in the midday window. Again, all these games available at mybookie.ag. Code next round for that bet back bonus. Easy to sign up there at mybookie.ag. And part of that sign up is using code next round to get that bet back bonus covering your first bet up to $500. LSU is at Ole Miss. The Rebs changing quarterbacks, and they're a 2-point favorite with a total of 55. You like this quarterback change, whether Simmons is healthy or not?
I like Trinidad Chamberlain has been great. Simmons, I Thought he was kind of sloppy with the football, especially against Kentucky. He gets hurt. Chambliss comes in. He's been flawless. 660 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 174 rushing yards with a couple of touchdowns there. This is a guy that's won back-to-back national championships at a smaller level at Ferris State. Lane Kiffin recruited him as, I need a quality backup that's got a lot of experience. They thought Simmons was going to be next level. We'll see how the season plays out. But I think Chambliss is the right move here. I don't know if it matters, though, Dunaway, because Blake Baker's defense giving up less than 10 points per game, to me, that's the story going into this game.
It is, and that's where the game's won for me, that turnovers. Blake Baker and them did it to a more experienced DJ Lagway a couple of weeks ago at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. This time around, you can't go from D2 Ferris State national champion and solve a Blake Baker defense, in my opinion. That's even going to help the short fields for the LSU offense. This is one of those that, and you can do this at MyBookie, where instead of getting plus 1.5, you can bet it to where you're giving 1.5, giving 2.5, giving 4.5, and getting more odds in your favor.
Right.
I would probably take this the other way and give 3.5 and make even more money at mybookie.ag.
Oh, okay. I like what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel that good about it.
But I like where your head's at.
I just haven't seen enough from this LSU offense. You know, where are we on Thursday with Caden Durham playing in this game? Not that it's really mattered because they haven't been able to run the football at all.
Just assume he doesn't play. You say they've got a guy in waiting who could be just as good.
Look, I think when you look at this LSU offense right now, everybody focused on Nussmeier, and you looked at these offensive weapons when you're looking at the wide receivers.
But Harlan
Berry is the true freshman that everybody's talking about. They just say he can't do the small things right now, the things that you've got to pick up if you want to be an elite back as far as pass protection, helping out with Nussmeier on that. But Harlan Berry's going to get his opportunity this weekend and, should get double-digit touches.
Ohio State is at Washington in Big Ten play. Ohio State an 8-point road favorite up in Seattle, total of 51.5 in this game. When Ohio State plays in the Pacific Northwest, Dunaway, there's one thing you can depend on.
Them losing, usually. They're 1-3 in 4 games in the last 40 years. 3 of those in Washington, 1 in Oregon last year. They lost that.
I'm a little surprised, though, because their last 7 in the Pacific time zone, they're 6-1 straight up.
We got competing trends now.
Yeah, they are.
6-1 straight up in their last 7 in the Pacific time zone.
Since 2007.
Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, you're talking Pacific Northwest, specifically Washington and Oregon.
Yeah, Pacifically or specifically?
Both, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see what the love affair is with this game. I'm Ohio State all day long here.
Ohio State minus the 8. You don't even think twice.
I mean, Damon Williams is really good. And I think Jed Fish has got his next maybe really, really good Washington quarterback. But this Ohio State defense, second right now in scoring defense, just a little over 5 points per game. And Julian Sayan's been good. 29th right now in QBR. I think they can run the football. Washington up front, our friend Brock Heward pointed this out. They just don't have the horses right now to contend in the Big Ten.
Not in the Pacific Northwest. I like Washington there. I like Washington plus the 8. I think they can win the game straight up.
What's crazy is that line has moved since you could have got it in the summer, almost 4 full points.
It was up to 12 in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, how much? It was 12.5 at one point, I think. So how much what has Ohio State done
that you don't like?
You don't like, and what has Washington done against 2 that you like that makes it move 4.5 points?
Ohio State beat Texas, and then they've disappeared.
They played nobody.
Yeah, and when you look at Washington, Colorado State, I think Colorado State pushed them around a little bit. Washington State's a bad football team. They haven't played anybody. I agree with you. It scares me off a little bit because I'm a contrarian and all the money is on Ohio State, but I think they win the game going away.
Not in the Pacific Northwest, but in College Station. Auburn travels to Texas A&M. The Aggies, a 6.5-point home favorite, total of 53 in this game.
Oh, tough game here.
You're not kidding.
Auburn, where are you mentally coming off this? They are, the defense has played well, only giving up 16.5 points per game. They're 1-4 their last 5 out against the number. Jackson Arnold, and a lot of this is inflated because of what happened last week. He's been sacked 15 times, 4th most in the FBS right now. You got to figure this out on that offensive line. Can Auburn bounce back? Jeremiah Cobb running the football. This Texas A&M team has got a ton of speed. I think Auburn plays with them, though. I like the plus 6.5. I did last week. I took Auburn, got burned on that final safety. But I'll play the Auburn Tigers here again.
You've just got to be yourself. Jackson Arnold does. Aaron Murray said this on our show on Thursday, today if you're watching us live. that he can't shy away. You can't worry about NFL scouts. I think Milroe got into this situation last year for Alabama. Just be a running quarterback. If your first read or your second read's not there and you don't have time, you don't feel like to make it to your third and fourth read, run. You're a great athlete. Run. And if it's 2nd and 7, then that's better than 2nd and 14, right?
Yeah.
So run.
Yeah.
Run. And
Yeah.
I think that's how Auburn can win it. Run. If Cam Coleman's not open, if Eric Singleton's not open, run.
I feel the same about this game as I felt last week, and it really kind of played out this way. There was that garbage time safety. I think Auburn loses the game but plays within the number. And I hate to say that, but I think that's what happens for the Tigers.
Auburn was better than Oklahoma.
I don't disagree with you, but
again, they were playing with a quarterback with a broken throwing hand.
yeah,
for basically the entire game.
They were, yeah, and they were better than Oklahoma, and they made some key special teams mistakes, which in close games like that on the road, that's really going to cost you.
But you usually can get those fixed in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Or 3 seasons. They've had that for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to some midday games here and then a couple night games in the college. Tennessee is at Mississippi State. It's a massive game for Jeff Lebby and the Bulldogs. Could start 4-0. Or they've started 4-0, could start 5-0 if they can get the win, 1-0 in conference. This is a smaller number than some might expect there in Starkville. Tennessee favored 8, a total of 64, so some points on the board.
Yeah, they haven't been great in these spots. 4-8, their last 12 out on the road against the number. Their defense, scoring defense, 100th nationally. Georgia game had a lot to do with that. But I do think Blake Shapen and this Jeff Lebby offense, which is much improved, scoring almost 40 points per game, will have some opportunities here. If it's going to be Mississippi State keeping this really close, so their defense is only giving up 11.7 points per game, I think they've got to play well against this up-tempo offense with Aguilar has been one of the surprises early on in this SEC season.
For me, a couple of things. Injuries on the Tennessee defense has added to those numbers, and they're still not perfectly healthy. They're beaten up on that side of the ball. And Aguilar on the road, true road game here. Can he handle the cowbells, the intensity? If you face a little adversity early, do you stack bad plays on bad plays, or do you get your team out of it? I like Tennessee to win this game.
I think Tennessee will win the game, but I think State keeps it within the number. I think Jeff Lebby's team keeps it within the 8 there, but Tennessee is going to win the football game.
Close game Saturday is what Brown is building.
That's right. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
keep
it.
all
Everything's
the
going to be close.
the numbers.
You got them scoring, and I got them playing close. Let's go to the primetime games again. All these games at mybookie.ag. Code next round. When you sign on at mybookie.ag, use code next round. And that's going to come with a $500 bet back bonus. You make your first bet, they cover it up to $500. You lose $500 right back into your account, and you can fire down again. It's a great way to get started there. 2 good primetime games.
Wonderful, man. I played a little MyBookie last weekend, hit a little 14 parlay. It was fantastic.
Oh, you hit a 14 parlay last week.
Well, it turned into a 3 because
Would you
Push
have
one side?
Have it
it was
rain
a
out?
push one side. I forget which one it was.
Oregon is at Penn State.
By that half, by the way.
Pacific Northwest coming east for this one. Primetime whiteout game. They're in Happy Valley, and Penn State, a 3.5-point home favorite, total of 52. You don't have to follow college football very closely to know James Franklin does not do well in these games normally.
No, the transition for Oregon into the Big Ten has been pretty seamless. Look, you win the Big Ten in year 1. They've won 18 of the last 19. They did get embarrassed against Ohio State in that rematch last year. But Dan Lanning, 10-6 against top 25s, 4-4 versus top 10s, very well documented. James Franklin, 4-20 against top 10 teams, 1-17 against top 10 teams in the Big Ten. They haven't been good in these spots, but running the football, almost ran for 300 yards in this matchup last year. And I think when you look at Allen and Singleton, I think they're going to be able to run it again. The focus will be from Dan Lanning on stopping them and making Drew Aller beat them. But I think Penn State scores enough points to not only cover the 3.5, but maybe win this game by double digits.
If they, from the Big Ten championship game, if they just cut off 100 rushing yards and Penn State only rushes for 197 instead of 297, they still win the game.
Tremendous improvement, right?
That is a tremendous improvement for Oregon. I hate to be a stay away from this game kind of guy when it's one of the biggest games, but I'd stay away. I'm not sold on the Oregon receivers yet. Road game for Dante Moore, and can Oregon, and I can't believe I'm saying this about a SEC guy in Dan Lanning, can Oregon stop the run? If I played it, I think I would play Penn State and give the points.
I think I like Oregon to win. I know the 3.5-point dog. I think I like them to win outright there.
I think this will be the first Big Ten loss ever for Oregon.
Yeah, that is hard to believe. They've only been in there 1 year. Alabama is at Georgia. Georgia's got an Alabama problem. They have not been able to beat Alabama, specifically Kirby Smart. As the Georgia coach, Georgia just a 3-point favorite. Total of 53 in this game in Athens, where weather might be a factor during the day. Maybe not so much during the game, but could be a little bit of a wetter track. You'll be at this game.
I'll be there. For Kirby Smart, it's the first time he gets to play Alabama between the hedges. They don't go there a lot. And the last time that Alabama was there, Kirby Smart was on the defensive side of the football. Gunnar Stockton, very impressive. I think he can do things. This is a gut check game for Alabama's defense to me. Can they line up and play an old school phone booth game in the SEC that Alabama used to win all the time? That's what Georgia will try to do to them. And I just wonder what the Swarm can do with a whole big dose of Nate Frazier and the guys. That'll decide the game. Alabama lost the battle of the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball in Tallahassee. Have they improved enough to beat Georgia there? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia, for whatever reason, mentally can't get over the Alabama hurdle. And until they can, I'm going to take Alabama plus the points here. I know Georgia's won 33 consecutive home games over in Athens. But I think big additions with Tim Keenan coming back. One of the reasons they got pushed around up front in Tallahassee was Keenan was missing. And then Jam Miller running the football. Alabama really hasn't been consistently effective running the football. And I think maybe Jam Miller changes that. But I like Alabama plus the points.
Yeah, I think I like the Crimson Tide. Catching 3 with Alabama, you don't get that opportunity very often. Don't know if they'll win the game. It's another one where they might lose, but keep it within the 3.
Yeah.
My gut tells me they probably win the game, though.
Yeah. I'll take Georgia in a close one.
Okay, I know what you're doing there.
No, I'm seriously. I'll take Georgia in a close one.
I'm kidding with you. Let's go to a few NFL games. I want to look a lot at the late window. The early window, not spectacular. You kind of pointed that out. This may not be the best
it's a
on
horrible,
the surface, the best schedule you get.
A horrible weekend when you have Colts and Rams as one of the 3 or 4 best games.
I was about to bring it
that
up.
is the most improved team in football right now.
The Colts are playing good football. It was literally the game I was about to bring up, Dunaway, is Colts and Browns.
3-0. Shane Steichen, I think everybody said he can coach. What's he going to do at quarterback? You bring in Daniel Jones, and they've been fantastic. Through 3 games, they've punted 1 time. The offense has been popping. You've got weapons. When you look at Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end, you look at Michael Pittman, you look at Jonathan Taylor, and their defense has played really, really good. I mean, they're blowing people out. I don't know, man. I just wonder where the Rams are going. Back-to-back East Coast games, playing Tennessee and Philadelphia, losing in the fashion they did against Philadelphia, coming back and trying to get up for this game. I mean, it is the NFL. It's a long season. McVay does a good job in those situations. But I think I would play the Colts plus 3.5.
Yeah, 2 things. 1, they don't travel by covered wagon.
I know.
A quick trip home for them. And 2, they're playing the Colts, and that's what the money's for, to get you up to win that game. I like the Rams to win this game. I like the Eagles to beat the Bucs in what is supposed to be a marquee game.
Yeah, it's the Eagles favorite 3.5 in Tampa, early window.
2 3-0 teams, but if you watch the Bucs, I'm a Bucs guy. We're lucky that we didn't lose 1, 2, or all 3 of those games. I don't know with Mike Evans out if Ibuka can be the main guy. Chris Godwin's supposed to come back after his injury to help out a little bit.
And by the way,
Baker's been great. I think the Eagles win this game.
I like the Eagles. Now, somebody did point this out, and it might have been Aaron Suttles. We were doing Bama and Bourbon yesterday. That
he's a big Bucs fan, too.
This Eagles team kind of looks like last year's Kansas City team, or somebody was saying that, where they're finding ways to win, but they don't look dominant necessarily.
I mean, look at what their offense against Kansas City on the Sunday night game was no good.
Yep.
And then for basically 2.5 quarters against your Rams, their offense was no good. I mean, they've put about 6.5 quarters straight. Save one end of the game against the Rams. It's pretty bad offense.
But the Bucs offensive line, they don't have their tackles. They're so matched up there with injuries. And I think the Eagles my prayer is that Baker Mayfield doesn't get hurt and ruin the whole season just with this day. In fact, if this was a college game, I would somehow say let's sit Baker Mayfield and play for another day.
I mean, you are playing for home field potentially home field advantage in the NFC. If you were to go to 4-0, I think people would consider Tampa Bay one of the top 3-4 teams in football. I can't believe you guys are knocking this Sunday. That's a great 1:00 game. There's 3 really good 3:00 games. Now the primetime games this week suck outside of tonight's game with Seattle and Arizona.
Yeah, but after, you just named those are the games. That's it. There are so
That's
many bad
five
games.
really good games, though.
I mean, it's the NFL. I mean, you got the Bills are playing who? The Saints.
They're playing the Saints, 16-point favorites. Yeah.
And I would lay that.
Yeah, I think I would too. I wanted to ask you about one of those late window games too, though, guys. Ravens and Chiefs. Now, when CBS had this, they're like,
For the
my
record,
gosh.
that is 2-1-2 teams. So go ahead.
No. My point was going to be when CBS had this game, they're probably like, we're good, guys. We're going to be able to build this as an AFC Championship game preview, maybe. One team's going to be 1-3 after this game, which is remarkable to consider. And Baltimore's a 3-point road favorite at Kansas City.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Hey, so we're in September, and Kansas City just played in another Super Bowl in February, and they've already been dogs at home twice.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, I don't feel good about either one of these because I think Baltimore's defense has become trash. I don't trust Kansas City's offense. You do have two elite quarterbacks in Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. I probably would play the home team.
We do expect to get Xavier Worthy back,
That's
which could
big.
help the
Yeah.
Chiefs. I think I would play Kansas City. Orlovsky brought a great point up on our show this week that if Kansas City loses their division with what the Chargers and the Broncos look like, it's going to be difficult for them to get back in the divisional race. Meanwhile, the Ravens could lose, be 1-3, and still win their division with ease.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, one team going to be 1-3 is amazing.
That's what's amazing.
Yes. All right, mybookie.ag is where you can play all of these games. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag. You sign up, use code next round, you get that $500 bet back bonus. They cover your first bet up to $500 right back into your account if you lose. Right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round, mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Always use code next round at mybookie.ag. Wherever you're watching us, please make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, Next Round Live, and set your alerts so you know when we're live, which is 9 to noon every single weekday, talking football all the time. And give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that on the live broadcast. And also, don't forget, all of our podcasts are downloaded wherever you get your favorite podcast, and we ask that you subscribe and make sure you get automatic downloads. That helps us a lot when you get those automatic downloads on our audio podcast. Thank you for watching the MyBookie Football Picks Show. Enjoy your football weekend.